Hey Internet, Swag here, and welcome to this video where I'll take you through 5 simple setups that any circuiteer should know. These setups will be either powerful logic functions or teach important lessons about working in CV2. Learn to apply these and you'll be well on your way on mastering Circuit Suite 2. So, without further ado, let's get on it. Number 1. Now the basics of number 1 is a toggle switch. Turning a 1 into a 0 and back again with a single input is one of the most binary standard processes that any computer is built upon. So the way that we achieve that is when this test event sends out an execution, the if chip will check if the value in our Boolean variable chip is either true or false. If it is true, then it sets the value to false, which here is the variable of our instance boolean, and this is the value that it's being set to, and continue outputting test message 2. If it is false, then it is not true, so else it will set the value to true, continue our execution, and set this instance boolean to true. So what happens if I send test event and I send test event 1, it will give me test message 1. If I send a test event and I send test event 1 again, it will send me test message 2. There we go. Number 2. So the basics of number 2 is about inputting and outputting messages. If we send our test event number 4, we get the prompt local player chip with the prompt title of please leave a message. So we shall do as such. Please leave a message. Hi. Now when that message is complete, the response will be made into the value of this variable. This is a synced string. Synced chip meaning that this will be synchronized amongst everyone's system, because everybody who is in a room has their own versions of Circuit Suite 2 playing. If we have an instance string, it would not update for another player, but because we are using a synchronized chip, it will display the same message for everyone in the room once it has been set to a certain variable. Now, if you have left a message for someone and they come into the room and they want to see what the message is, they can play test event number 5 as such. Hi. And it will prompt a show notification chip to send out a notification with the value saved in our synced string. Number 3. Instead of prompting the local player and using the response as a direct message, we can ask them a multiple choice and compare their response to different equals chips. Now we can program these chips to say output a true if answer is A, output a true if answer is B, or output a true if answer is C. If the test event has been played, so we'll go with number 7, multiple choice. So I can choose either A, B, or C. I will go for A. Execute option 1. For what it will do is once you have entered your prompt and it is complete, it will send a signal through all of these 3 if chips and see if any of these 3 equals prove to be true. If any of them are true, which in case of A in this case was, it will send a then into this show notification chip. Now this doesn't have to be a show notification chip, this can be any other execution that you want to play out. And at the end of this, if none of the 3 chips have found a corresponding answer, in other words, the player has not entered A, B, or C, then else, invalid command, please try again. So we've got a little notification to let you know, hey, this is not what you were supposed to answer. Number 4. So we have a very special event receiver, which is the update 30 Hz, which sends out a ridiculous 30 updates per second. Now, you wouldn't probably always want to have 30 updates a second, especially if you're shorting notifications. That goes really quick, so you don't see your notifications. So what this system does, it says every update, if this instance value does not equal 29, then set the value of this instance to its value plus 1. So it keeps counting up until it reaches 29, and if it is at 29, then set the value to 0 and output a signal from here. So this will fire once every 30 Hz. So this is a way to reduce your 30 Hz updater to work less frequently, and this will save you a lot of heat, because if you are using this for advanced calculations, then having 30 of those calculations per second might take a lot of heat and not leave any room for anything else. But if you can fire it only once per second and you don't need it to be that responsive, then that will save you incredible amounts of heat. Number 5. So the basics of number 5 is a distance checker. This allows you to, when firing test event 10, set the value of an instance vector 3, which holds the 3 coordinates that make up a position, into a player's position. So if we do that right now and fire number 10, then that will now have set the value. If we play 11, it will tell us that we're not that far away from our point. But if we leave and take some distance and fire number 11 again, we get a bigger number. Because what 11 does is it takes the distance between where the player has saved their location and where the player is now, output that into a string value so it can be shown on a notification, and then outputs that with test event 11. So 10 will save your position, and 11 will tell you how far you are from that position. I hope you found this video useful. If you're new to circuitry, learning why circuitry does what it does is way more important than being able to build what you want it to do. So pace yourself and learn these one by one. If you're a bit more advanced and curious on what to do with these setups, there will be a link in the description for this room where you can not only check out the setups themselves, but also what you can use them for and expand them out to. But for now, I hope you use your newfound knowledge wisely, and to see you in the next one. Bye.